blessed by God. That's like the video was like how did it happen, but blessed from the men above, and definitely hard work, good help from the hitting coaches, and this whatever I've been going on so far, but it's part of the game, and man, we're gonna ride that wave.
It felt good. It felt good, but I've been relaxed. Realize it's baseball, so everything happens for a reason. Just gotta be patient. I'm waiting on Kev to write an article about me, but he's been pretty nice, so that's why I was in a little bit of a slump.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. I am Marty Caswell. Welcome to Marty Time TV. We are brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. And this is going to be a fun show. I mean, they're all fun shows, right? But this is like happy hour edition. Normally, I'm like frantic in the morning, racing around, trying to get things done at 10 or 11 o'clock. Now I'm frantic in the evening, trying to get things done. But the difference is I have a beer in hand. It's the happy hour. And I'm delighted to welcome in my friend Darnay Tripp from NBC7, the On Friar podcast. Darnay, how are you? Did you follow my instructions? Namely, can you join me? Number 2, have a cocktail or a drink in hand.
Here we go. I'm impressed. You've got Pliny on hand. I mean, do you just always have Pliny in the fridge?
No, but I knew that you were coming on the show today, so I made it a special occasion. It's been a long, stressful day. My nephew's last day of first grade is tomorrow, and he made it through first grade, and I'm so freaking happy. I don't have to cheat anymore when I help him with his homework because his math, they teach math now in schools that we did not learn when we were kids. So it's
I've heard about this.
It's new math, and I'm just like, I'm out of my league, so I'm done. But anyways.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that with our 2.5-year-old twins who are on their way to bedtime. I was supposed to put them to bed, and then they revolted when they found out it was bedtime. Forced us to let them watch one more show, and so Laura's doing that. But yeah, I've heard about this math, and I'm worried about this math. But that's a problem for another day. And as you know, we have enough problems right in front of us to deal with in the here and now. So we'll worry about that for another time.
I'm just glad you didn't say that you were gonna put them to sleep by watching Marty Time TV and watching Darnay and Marty talk about the Padres, who are now 1/3 of the way through the season. Listen, Darnay. You're very, very polished. You're a TV guy. You're a news guy. You're smooth. You're Philly based.
Thank you.
You're a professional. I fly off the cuff. I'm disorganized. I'm distracted. I want you to go ahead and just shed your personality. I want you to go ahead and just keep everything that you know about doing sports. This is different. We're going to talk about the Padres. I am going to make you listen to Mike Shildt. I want you to do something that I don't usually get to do.
Okay.
I want you to interpret what Mike Shildt is trying to tell us. I want you to listen to the words very, very carefully.
Not an easy thing to do.
Language. It's not an easy thing to do, which is why I want you to have a drink in hand because that'll help you. I made a long answer yesterday. He had an answer today. He was asked in post game, "Is there an update on Michael King?" He really didn't. It was very, very vague. He said many, many words. I listened to it 3 or 4 times. I learned absolutely nothing from it. So we're going to get there shortly. But before I do, 1/3 of the way through this season. Padres are 31-23, about what you expected, better or worse. How do you feel about this team 33% of the way through the season?
8 games above 500. You can't be mad at it. Certainly the start was better than what I expected. I think if you told anybody on opening day they're going to be 1/3 of the way through the season and be 8 games above 500, anybody would sign up for that. Maybe started stronger than we expected, maybe had some lulls recently that we didn't anticipate or were a bit frustrating, but end result, it's good. You'll take this. They were 50-50 through 100 games last season, and you saw what they did. Now you can't guarantee that they have those types of 2 months, but they bought themselves some insurance if there are more lulls along the way. And I think you have to have confidence that this team's going to be in it, going to be very much in the playoff race, and potentially in control of their own destiny from that regard, just based on what they've done so far. Some questions now going forward. Fernando's been struggling. What happens with Michael King? When is Yu Darvish back? The back end of the rotation, as we saw again on Wednesday, a little bit dicey, maybe a lot of it dicey. So that is certainly cause for concern. But I think in terms of like big picture, you feel like the bullpen's going to round into shape, as Mike Shildt talked about, kind of a taxing stretch here. So I think it's good. It's good to go through a period like this. It's good to see them struggle a little bit and then come back and win a couple series. I think that you should feel confident about that. And I think we should feel all in all, 30,000 foot view, pretty good about where this team is.
Where do you think that they are better? In which area are they better than they were last year? Because that's, and maybe they're not. I mean, you don't, if they're not better in any one spot, then you could probably say that, because I don't know that they're better at DH. They're definitely not better in left field. The catching situation isn't better. I'm a bit more worried about the starting pitching than I was a year ago, which is quite even as good as Nick Pivetta has been. But where is there one area like, okay, they're better here?
That's a really good question. And I don't know if I have a great answer for you because the bullpen was really good last year, especially after the deadline. They started off great, have not been great the last few weeks or so. I think, where my mind goes to is Gavin Sheets just gives them a different element that maybe they didn't have last year. The slugging lefty that can go on a streak like he has, where he's just hitting bombs all the time. Like, that's a unique skill set. I mean, Jerkson Profar obviously hit a bunch of homers, but a different type of hitter than Gavin Sheets is. So I don't know, like
better defender than Gavin Sheets.
Better defensively than Gavin Sheets. But I don't know if you looked at Profar, even what he hit, like 24 homers last year. I don't know if you looked at him and thought, okay, he could hit a bomb at any given moment. That's not really who he was through the course of his career. Whereas Sheets kind of had that. He was that type of guy, and he's been a better, like more well-rounded hitter than I think we expected him to be. But that's a really good question. I mean, I think Manny Machado after June was awesome. He's been really, really good this year. Fernando Tatis Jr. off to an MVP start. We saw flashes of that last year. And so maybe there's the hopes that like Manny and Tatis can be like more consistent this year. Xander more consistent this year. Jackson Merrill with some experience, obviously the way he started the season, but it's hard now with a larger sample size and seeing some guys hit some rough patches to pick a spot where you feel like, yes, they are clearly better here.
I changed my answer during the course of your interview because I was going to actually copy the answer from Tatis that I asked him in spring training. And his answer was confidence. Like, we know we're a good team. There are certain guys that know they belong here and that we are a playoff team. But I think the Machado thing is interesting because the slug, the power isn't quite there. But number one, he has his health, right? Last year he wasn't quite himself yet, right? Still recovering from the surgery. But I think right now, man, he has been steady offensively. The numbers aren't, the power not there, but you're starting to see it at this point. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. If you're AJ Preller, man, right now, I'm not sure. I'm sure he's looking at everything, right? AJ Preller, you're going to hear him. He'll kick the tires on everyone who's possibly available out there. But if he's looking at one single area, if he were to call you tonight, 2:00 in the morning, Darnay, what direction do I go? Is it left field? Is it catcher? Even though Mike Shildt says that the catcher's production does not matter. They're here because what they do behind the plate. Is it another starting pitcher? Where do you go?
My mind goes to left field and the rotation.
Yeah.
Because, again, not knowing the Michael King situation, not knowing what you're going to get out of Yu Darvish this year, still hard to tell what you're going to get long-term from Randy Vasquez and Steven Kolek. Obviously, Kyle Hart has struggled. And so I think another starter, even if he's not necessarily looking for like a Cy Young all-star level guy, but like a veteran guy, what we've seen.
Give you innings. Someone can get you through 6 innings.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. That can do that consistently. What was it? Martin Perez last year?
Yes.
He gave them some really solid starts last year. And so somebody of that mold that's reliable game in and game out. But that left field spot, I mean, there's something there. And given the issues the offense has had, and Gavin Sheets kind of having to figure out the position defensively a little bit, like that's a clear, I mean, 1A and 1B in some particular order, I would say rotation and left field.
The Padres ownership, the chairman, John Seidler, I don't think he's been available to the regular media since.
Are we going to hear from him at some point?
I have no idea. I mean, he was at Jackson Merrill's presser. I think he was at Jackson Merrill's presser for the contract extension, right? And I spoke to him a couple of days later when I saw him on the field, but it was very, very brief. But, I want to ask him, like, where are you guys? I mean, they're selling out every single night. You had 37,000 people there on a very cold Wednesday afternoon game. I mean, every single night to sell out. you have to, are they going to invest in? What do they believe in this team? How do you not invest in this team given what you've committed already and given how your fans have invested in you? So I would hope that somebody from ownership group will be available to speak to the media sooner rather than later, hopefully before the trade deadline. So we'll see what happens there.
And I would agree. And last year, again, not really knowing, what direction do they go at the deadline because they were kind of just spinning their wheels a little bit. Now they're in a position where, okay, yeah, you want to address some needs. You did what you did last year. There's confidence in this group. There's confidence in Mike Shildt. You've already invested going and getting Nick Pivetta on top of just all the money that they've spent. Like the Pivetta move was a clear, okay, we're going for it in 2025 move. We didn't move Arise. We didn't move King. We didn't move Cease. So it would seem pretty clear that this is a deadline where they would be somewhat aggressive. I'm not saying like blockbuster moves, but they would want to go and patch up some of those holes that we've seen to this point in hopes of another October run.
But Darnay, I thought that the Pivetta move wasn't just about this year. The signing Pivetta wasn't just about, okay, we're in it now, we mean it. I think it was more about insurance, about this guy is going to be here, and Dylan Cease and Michael King, that's up in the air. These guys can walk. And I know this is dumb, but when you walk in that press box elevator, right? They have the Padre players in the back, right? Cease. I think it's Manny Machado, it's Jackson Merrill, and the pitcher on there is Nick Pivetta. It's not Dylan Cease. It's
There's
not
your future.
Michael King, because maybe they're thinking, listen, we can move these guys, but yeah. The one thing the Padres fast start did was reinforce you need to shore up your holes right now, because you saw what they could be. There's time, there's stretch. They look like the best team in baseball. All right, I know you're busy. You have a lot to get to tonight. So I'm going to make you listen to Mike Shildt right now. I want you to go ahead, grab your drink, Darnay. We're talking to Darnay Tripp, NBC7, the On Friar, the wildly popular On Friar podcast. Right, he has a cocktail in hand, right? All right, go. This is Mike Shildt yesterday when he was asked about Michael King, who none of us saw when the Padres came home from this road trip. He has been seen there. I think he was there in the bullpen. He walked out with the pitchers during the game, pre-game, but we did not see him in pre or post, which I find unusual. And I found Mike Shildt's answer about what's happening with Michael King alarming. So grab your drink. Go ahead. Let's.
I know he's going to get. Again, we're in a little bit of uncharted territory. This isn't a very common, thing that takes place. Our crack medical team, which are amazing, are working with our team doctors, which are also amazing, and some experts just to figure out exactly what's going on. And he's getting some incremental improvement. So from what I understand, clearly improvement is important initially, and anytime somebody gets injured or hurt, but I think it's especially important with this particular what he's dealing with, and so that's encouraging, more so. But yeah, we're doing some testing, further testing, getting some really qualified people and experts in the field for this to look at it, and we'll know more hopefully sooner than later. But that's all we know at the moment.
Like you said, the King injury was not a common thing. What, from your understanding, is what's uncommon about it?
It's just more, in the the scap area. It's not overly structural. So we're trying to figure out what's taking place with it, and so to the fact that we're still diagnosing it makes it uncommon.
Is there any understanding of how it came about? Is that part of it?
He literally slept on it wrong and woke up, and he played catch, threw great. As we do, one of the things we do well, the industry does well, but we do especially well is we create really strong baselines and understanding, and are constantly testing, and so aware of players' flexibility, their strength. Now the stuff during the course of games, release heights and spin rates and what their bullpens look like, and so we track all that extremely well, use it very effectively. So the point I'm getting at is all of us tracking in a very good place for Michael, and has been quite candidly since he's been here. And there's been some modifications and some improvement to it that he gets the credit for. But so the day before was like all systems go, and the next morning wakes up and he's dealing with what he's dealing with. So that makes it unusual as well.
He hasn't thrown or tried to throw or anything.
He did pick up some plyo balls prior to that, but that was more just to double, triple check that, yeah, this isn't going to happen today, but let's give it the old professional effort. Not the
Darnay, you still with me? You awake? Did you make it?
I made it. Okay. We're here.
What did he say?
It's hard. It's hard. This is where I struggle as a member of the media, because this does make it interesting for us, right? Yeah. We're talking about it. Okay.
I'm hearing. I learned nothing. We're not alarmed. It's unusual because we don't know what it is.
It might behoove him to be like, we don't have anything for you guys today, and then that's that.
Don't say that.
And if there's follow-up questions,
Friday.
Yeah, we're still figuring it out. We should know more by the end of the week. I'm sorry, I don't have much for you guys. I'm sorry, you keep asking. I don't have anything. You know what I mean? Like, just keep doing. Yeah, there's nothing. We're still kind of figuring it out. It's kind of a freak thing. Yeah, we're still like, it's, God bless him. Like, Mike Shildt, he's giving a lot, and he's probably giving more than he needs to give. No. And I don't know if he gave too much, but there's just a lot. He's just saying a lot without saying a whole lot.
He's saying many, many words and telling you absolutely nothing. I feel like he's going from the school of like AJ Preller communication. I'm like, what are you saying? So he slept on it wrong. We have a lot of specialists on it, but we don't know what it is, but everything is going to be fine. I think I should have asked, is this a lengthy IL? Is he going to pitch again this season? Because the thing that I find alarming is I learned nothing from these responses. He's not throwing right now. He's not. He hasn't been in the clubhouse, which is Michael King's the nicest guy out there, right? He's affable. Yeah. He's a great communicator. So I'm alarmed by hearing nothing from Mike Shildt. I know the Padres don't like announce their injuries usually. My favorite, not my favorite, was the Mike Clevenger. Remember the
Mike Clevenger signed a 2-year extension.
We chopped off his arm. I mean, that
was incredible. That was incredible.
All right, Johnny, go ahead.
We don't know anything. I think Shildt is probably, talking about having the best doctors and all this. Like, we assume that you're talking to medical professionals. We assume that you're talking to people that are authorities in their field and can diagnose and do all these things. Yes. But there is this track record with the Padres of, we're not super alarmed. We got out ahead of Jackson Merrill, bulky leg, then he misses a month.
Well, I mean, how about Michael King's initial injury? It's fine. He slept on it wrong, and the next day, IL. Oh, what?
Also, am I crazy? And the Jake Cronenworth thing was initially a groin, and then it was a broken rib.
You could play. He was available to pinch hit. He was available to pinch hit.
That was weird. He obviously got hit, so it was clear that something happened. But there's enough fuzziness through the years to be kind of skeptical and to be concerned. I kind of took the same approach when Dylan Cease was flexing his hand. I was like, okay, it sounds like it's nothing, but until I see him start after start after start, I'm not really going to believe it. And so that's kind of where I'm at with Michael King. I'm not assuming it's a 60-day IL, but I'm not assuming that everything's fine either. I'm just not coming to any conclusions until I know for certain that he's out there. He woke up, he didn't sleep on the wrong side, and he's made 3 starts in a row. At that point, I'll feel like, okay, Michael King's back and everything's fine.
Before I give you your final thoughts that are not Padres related. Now, you mentioned Martin Perez. Is he with the White Sox? Did he sign with the White Sox?
I don't know. I forget where he signed.
I think he did. If he did, I mean, AJ probably should go rescue him. Right?
Let's see, Martin Perez. Yeah.
I think he signed with
Chicago White Sox. Yeah.
Listen, come on, AJ, let's go.
He's got 4 starts, 3.15 ERA, and a 1.25 WHIP. Not bad.
Go get him.
Bring him home.
By the way, speaking of bringing him home, I wonder how much Tommy Pham is going to be telling, hey, AJ, you left fielder, bring me home. Let's go. All right.
How many years have we been talking about that?
3 years. All right.
Ever since you left, what, 2021?
Oh my gosh. Okay, before I let you go, Darnay, I could keep you for an hour. You were an outstanding guest, and
Oh, you're too nice.
Here has nothing. By the way, I love Pliny.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's so good. So good. Didn't you have? Okay.
Where was that in the clubhouse?
What's that?
Why wasn't that in the clubhouse, Marty?
Pliny. I know this. They should be available now at all Mike Shildt post-game pressers. maybe we'll ask better questions. All right. Thank you for your time on the Padres. Give me your top non-Padre sports stories that are happening in San Diego, whether it's going to be the SDFC, the brawl with the Galaxy, Miles Bird returning to San Diego State. What do you have? What do you have for me?
I'd say today in the here and now, it's Miles Bird. I think that's huge news. Rounds out the roster. He's obviously a really good player. Tough end to the season, but clearly an NBA level talent.
Yeah.
Returning to a team that's really deep, got tons of talent, and he's right there as, you know, one of the best players, one of the most complete players. He does so much for you, and I think it just speaks well of the Aztecs as a program. You're bringing guys back. So many teams just get, you know, ravaged by the transfer portal and NIL and all that, and they're keeping a core together, which is rare, and it should be really exciting for SDSU fans. So I'd say here and now, I'd say Miles Bird. As we speak, SDFC trailing 1-0 at Seattle. I'll go with the Wave. Vamos Wave, okay. Marty.
Vamos Wave.
Six straight unbeaten. Wow. Franchise record 5 goals the other night. 13 goal scorers to lead NWSL, and completely overhauled their roster. And a lot of concern after a downer of a 2024 season. Here they are right near the top of the NWSL. I think that's a huge story. Great for them. Alex Morgan back in the front office.
Right.
And then right there, SDFC, the run that they've been on and the stuff that they're having to kind of deal with and navigate right now with a passionate fan base. That's maybe that passion needs to be directed in a more healthy manner.
SDFC might lead the league in like press releases on fan behavior. I mean,
in the manager having to open a post-game press conference with a statement. Yeah. It's not what you want.
Just start with a disclaimer. Hopefully it works out. All right. Darnay, you're the best. Do you have a pod coming out tomorrow?
It'll be the Derek Togerson show. I'm off tomorrow.
Oh wow. Okay.
So my weekend has begun.
Okay.
There it is. And so but yes, on Friars Thursday, NBC7, myself, Derek Togerson. I'm sure Derek will have a lot to talk about Thursday, and we will be back together next week.
Cheers to you. You're the man, Darnay. Thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate you.
Of course.
Excuse me. For those of you sticking around, I'm going to bring you a little bit of Gavin Sheets in his post game. What do you have to say? Gavin Sheets, man, 11 home runs. What a find for the Padres.
Been awesome.
So, he's been fantastic. Darnay, you're the best.
Thank you, Marty. You're the best.
Cheers. All right, that is Darnay Tripp, NBC7, the On
Now
Fire
I'm leaving.
Podcast. Goodbye. Now he's gone. All right, guys. Thanks for bearing with me today. Really, really appreciate you. To go ahead and close out today's happy hour edition of Marty Time TV, brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. I bring you Gavin Sheets, Padres left fielder for today.
Yeah, it's obviously it's one that we wanted. We played hard today. Obviously winning the series is very important, obviously, but that was, today was in our focus, and kind of let that one get away from us, but part of it, got a series win and got another one coming up.
11 homers. It's not even the end of May yet. That's more than the last 2 seasons. Are you kind of like, how much fun are you having, I guess, in these moments like the one today?
Yeah. I've said it all along. It's just when you try to win games every single day and you try to help the team win at any point, it's just a better brand of baseball. It's easier to play. You're not worried about your individual stats, and I think that's kind of the product of it. Obviously, made adjustments that have really helped and have really clicked. But I think when you just go out there every single day helping the team try to win, it's just an easier way to play the game.
Shildt has said a couple times that you have power, but you're a hitter. You're not just a power hitter. The early RBI seemed to kind of indicate that type of hit. Is that something that you kind of take pride in? Just, I'm not a power guy. I'm a guy that can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in that situation, we're just trying to get Jackson from third. So trying to be short to it, and I feel like if
feel like power comes when you make right swing decisions and you're short to the baseball and square it up. The more times you square up the baseball, the more your power numbers are going to go up. So I think they go hand in hand. So I don't try to, I think as soon as I start trying to hit for power, that's when, both of those go downhill. So, yeah, be a good hitter first.
Your leverage numbers typically have been really good. They're really good again this year. What's kind of the mental approach in situations like that? Is it leaning into it, or is it just kind of normalizing the situation?
Yeah, I think you start to get confidence. When you come through in a couple of situations, you obviously get that confidence. I think the biggest thing is just wanting that moment. You don't get afraid of it. You just want it. You expect it. And that's what's helped me. Just enjoying, embracing it, and wanting those situations.
Kevin, how do you feel about the way you guys have performed offensively overall since the rough stretch you had earlier?
Yeah, I think that's part of 162 games. You're going to have those stretches. You're going to have those stretches where you get rolling, and hitting's contagious. So when we get going 1 through 9, we're an extremely dangerous team, and I thought we swung the bats really well. We had extremely timely hitting, and kind of got out of that skid and swing the bats well.
Gavin, have you ever been in a groove like this, like you're in right now, like just kind of on fire, just like squaring everything up and just kind of smashing all over the field?
Not really. I think rookie year, I did a little bit, but that was the same thing. Rookie year was, we were the first in division, and it was about winning baseball. It was about trying to win every single night and get to the playoffs. And that was obviously my focus this offseason, was getting to a team that had those same visions, the same goals, and I think that's a huge part of it.
How's your comfort level in left
increasing day by day? Yeah, the more I play out there, the more comfortable I get. Obviously, you get as many reps as possible in practice, but until you get in the game, you can't replicate it. So get more and more comfortable out there the more I'm out there. Obviously, it's getting it's a new spot for me, so getting as many reps as possible and making it comfortable.
How'd that throw feel?
Felt good. Yeah. Felt good. Yeah. The ball kind of checked up on me. It was funny with the way he top spun it, but to get it in and get that guy out in that moment, that felt good.
You should say you just baited him into it.
Exactly. just trying to test him to go.
How would you characterize just this series as a whole? You have a walk-off, big comeback yesterday, and just kind of a slugfest today.
Yeah, I think that we did offensively. We kept ourselves in it. I think our pitching kept us in it too. Kolek yesterday, unbelievable day. Gives up 6 in the first and then goes back out there and goes 6 innings for us and keeps us in it offensively. So I thought we had extremely timely hitting. We did small things. We hit for power. We did small things. We ran the bases well. We played good defense. So yeah, keep building off that and back-to-back series wins, most important thing. And now we got Pittsburgh coming up.
Dylan, come here real quick. Come here. Hold on. If somebody said that we're getting our Avengers back by the injuries that are coming back,
sure,
who would you compare Arias, Jason Hayward, and Jackson Merrill to in terms of an Avenger?
I've never really watched Avengers. To be honest
not a
with you.
nerd. He's a nerd in other ways.
I do play RuneScape sometimes. That's a little nerdy. And disc golf.
But you don't know Evan's forward position.
I mean, I think it was just, we felt lonely out there. We missed our guys. And, we missed them in the clubhouse. They were gone for a whole week, and we just felt